back in the old times.
Yes.
What do you do with this?
What do we do with it?
Sell it for hard drives.
No, we are going to digitize everything into a continuous sort of like a memoir. Put it on a DVD. You can watch it, and Tom can watch it. Send one to Terry.
Big Steve is still living.
Yeah.
You know, it's a thing that you think of that really, you know, that goes way back at you. Today it's not imaginable, you know, the price of things back then and everything. Bread making a nickel a loaf, gasoline 18 cents a gallon, cars that you had to crank when they started on. Did you have to crank your car?
Feed it. You had to feed your car.
Hey Dad, how much did you pay for your first house?
The what?
Your first house?
First house?
Yeah.
In Ohio?
No. West Virginia.
West Virginia, first house.
Mm-hmm.
First house was a Sugardale Schoolhouse. That's what they called it. I think we bought them for $1,200.
$1,200?
Had an acre of land and had a pump that you hand pumped
For water.
for water. And my aunt and uncle
Wow.
owned it, and we bought it off of them. They partly remodeled it. Now, I think I wasn't over 19 then, but we jacked that thing up because the narrow side faced the pavement. See, like they would build a school, paved
Yeah.
road. And we jacked it up. I got everything from Miss Burlingame Supply for $50. The rollers, everything needed. Come along jacks, railroad ties that were buried
Okay.
for, we call them dead men, to pull it. We turned that jacked that schoolhouse up, turned it around to the long side, parallel with the road did. Put the door on that side of it.
Oh, I was gonna say, I'm like, why would you want to do that? But
Well, we had it up in the air.
oh,
While we had it up in the air, I dug the basement out with my hand and laid a cement blocks all right around that basement before we let it back down.
okay. Now, what kind of cement blocks are you talking about? You're not talking about like cinder blocks that we know today.
No, they're regular concrete blocks.
Like,
Right.
okay. I'm thinking, in my head, like brick.
Yeah.
But, okay. Wow.
Yeah, after he dug the basement out by hand with the shovel.
Yeah, just shovel and crowbar. Whole basement.
So, obviously you don't live there anymore.
We sold it. We rented it when we come to Ohio. We rented it to someone.
Okay.
Then we sold it to a good friend of ours.
Okay.
But everyone that moved in did a little more remodeling.
Ah.
See, we built more rooms inside than we had.
Okay.
And we had a one heater, a gas heater, set right in the end of the wall. We had a gas line right through the backyard.
So, is it still standing?
You ever see it?
Oh, yeah.
I would say it changed hands like 6 or 8 times probably. And everyone that's did something to it, it's really not good.
When and why did you come to Ohio?
Work. Well, when I was 18, I couldn't get a job in here. I was 18. I worked for $1, $1.50 a day on farms till I was 18. Then I went to work at Weird and Steel. And I couldn't have worked there over, well, in April, with April 15th to 16th. I come home, I was bored away from home, I was about 50 or 60. Then I come home for some Patty was born. And my brother-in-law said, why don't you go up to Nathan, the chemical plant, and put your application in, sit there home. I went up there, put my application in, they take the physical, come to work. So I left the steel mill on a Friday, and I went to work at the chemical plant on Monday. And worked there about 3 years probably. And they said, anyone who can get a job, we better take it, so we're gonna move. We're gonna shut it down.
Oh.
And we was out here, from out here to visit a friend of ours. Very cousin, Wayne Arnold. And he said, why don't you get down to the gas company and put your application
Okay.
down there? They said, since you're working, why don't you take the physical? I took the physical. They sent me a letter. Said, come to work. I left down there on a Friday, come to work up there. Now, you can't prove you ever got married because there wasn't anyone there but the preacher and his wife.
When I was living at home, and it was my 17th birthday, and my mom said, hey, Grandpa Cook's on the phone, he wants to talk to you. So I said, hi, how you doing? How you doing? It's your 17th birthday. You know what I did when I was 17? I'm like, no, what? He's like, I got married. Happy birthday.
You figure it only been 17 from December to February the 14th.
Okay.
That was the big problem back then. There was getting work. You couldn't get a job anywhere till you was 18. None of the factories, nobody hired you. You just had to work whatever you could find. Yeah.
Okay.
I cut timber, worked on farms, helped build a Ford garage. Most every kid remember making around $2.50 an hour.
When you guys moved up here, did you already have Pat? Or were you-
Patty and Terry.
Patty and Terry were both born in West Virginia.
If we lived at that schoolhouse, our first car was a 37 Chevrolet Coupe.
Okay.
All right, we wrecked it
Uh-oh.
right on Proctor Creek. We wrecked
You drove it into the creek?
it. No, we come around the curve and there was a tractor and trailer crossways the road.
Okay.
I only had 2 wheel brakes.
Hmm.
Had the other ones plugged off and they was leaking.
Oops.
But anyway, so I totaled that car out. They picked it up, front wheel just turned right out.
Whoops.
But I bought a 1933 Plymouth.
Uh-huh.
And we brought that thing home, changed the motors in to start with. So I don't think I can never figure that out. But we changed the motor in and I had a guy help me. Then the rear end was bad then. But I took that all out myself. Had it all cleaned up, ready to put back together, had it down in the yard. She said, come on in, meet this one with the school.
Okay.
And then they went back out. Patty had filled that rear end of that car full of sand. I had to take it all apart, clean it and everything.
Oh my gosh. And this was all during the span of dinner.
But we come up here in 52, yeah, October 52. I come up, stayed a month, then you come up. But we moved up to Medina on a dairy farm.
Okay.
I would get up and help that guy milk the cows in the morning. Then I'd drive into Akron to work. She got homesick. Had to go back and call Mom up and said, can I come back home? So she went back.
Okay.
And I took everything we had up there and stored it at a friend's house over on Newton Street. Then we moved. She got, over homesickness, so she came back out. We rented a little house out of Copley.
Okay.
It wasn't in the bathroom, it was
I can't remember.
I think it had a chemical toilet in there, emptied or something. Had a outside toilet too.
Back in the 50s, you still had outhouses? Really?
And
I guess.
we had an oil heater, space heater to heat with. One night it went out of adjustment. Next morning we all had black,
Black around
breathing that soot,
Oh,
But we lived there for a year or two. And then we bought that house on 24th Street.
right.
Good for you.
900?
No,
It wasn't a very
9,000. $9,000.
Your house in Kenmore?
Yeah.
Wow.
That was in the early 50s.
But that wasn't, that we lived there.
Martin David was born.
When was it?
Dave was an infant when you guys moved out to Franklin.
That'd have been about 55.
I remember Tom and I sitting in the back of the moving truck. And I was young, but you and I sat in the back of the moving truck and Grandpa drove. And I think my dad had Dave in the front seat with Grandpa.
David was about.
He was an infant, so he was probably less than 1 year old.
Because
You
worked in that house.
had Jackie when you were living in Kenmore.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
she was born in 56, so you probably moved in 55.
We moved in there. Then what? Mr. Cotton asked you where you lived. Was that Terry?
It was terrible.
He said, Terry, that tree. She lived down the street around the corner.
She didn't know who it was.
And she didn't know where he's from.
She wouldn't tell her.
But we lived there for 26 or 28 years. While we was there, we bought the house next door.
Okay. Why?
Just knew people real well, and then she told us anything, they were Catholic.
Okay.
I was pallbearer both of them funeral,
Okay.
but they
That's who you bought the house.
they said we'd get first chance to the house.
Okay.
We bought it,
Okay.
And then you rented it out.
rented it, yeah,
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, so you guys never lived there though.
yeah,
Was that the house on the greenhouse that was next door? Or
yeah.
Where you told the driveway was on.
was it on the right? Isn't that where?
Terry Park.
Okay, yeah, from church.
Yeah, we rented Terry Pope.
Okay.
How many years?
I remember that.
But the house on the other side, Freed lived there. We had a fence, backyard fence. There, and it had a grill in it. Yes, grill. We was out there grilling one day. They were an older couple like us, But he backed the car out of the garage. And stopped her right there, and he got out and went in the house. I said, we're grilling some stuff on the grill, and I looked over that car and just started. I reached across the fence, got a hold of the door out, and stopped that car.
Hmm.
I don't know who was there. They said, "Boy, are you strong."
Did he forget to set the brake or something?
He didn't set the brake down. Another time, he backed that car out of the garage. Here, that new car to his son owned a dealership out of Compton,
Uh-huh.
new Ford. But Well, he went in the garage.
We backed it out.
He was having trouble with it. Something was wrong with the starter. And he went in and he raised the hood and jumped it or something. And it started and he come back out of the garage, right down the driveway, right across our yard. He cut off across our yard. We had an older station wagons in here for second car. It got station wagon broadside. End of it went across the street and hit another house on the other side of the street.
Oh my gosh.
Him and her came out there all over. She was really cutting. Didn't shake us up, it did them. His son just took it out to his garage and fixed it. You know. I think I was the only one that was ever in that house on the street.
Really?
Yeah. He was in there, yeah.
While we lived there, Ralph and Gary went out west hunting. And I thought, my God, I'm gonna do something. So I went down to this upholstery shop. And the man, he was from Tennessee, very nice man. I got a job. I never just sold upholstery. And when Ralph came back, I had a job and I worked there for 22 years.
Oh
You were still working
my
there when, so you were still working there when I was young.
Yeah.
I remember going
And
to
he'd
visit
let
you.
me off in the summer when school was out, when the
Uh-huh.
kids were home. And when fall comes, and kids go to school, I go back to work.
That was just down the hill from Old Barberton Church.
Huh?
That upholstery shop was just down the road from Barberton
Right,
Church.
right, yeah, it was.
Wow.
I remember my mom taking me to see Grandma at the upholstery shop.
Oh, she'd bring you and Brian and David all come in there.
Well, we'd carry
David would sit on my lap and I'd sew and he'd sit there and watch me.
Brian and I would get in the shop.
And we always told him he had hooks there, if it didn't behave, he'd hang them up on them hooks.
Oh, it's fantastic! That's awesome!
So that's why I like to sew today, I guess.
Well, yeah, you did it for 22 years.
Yeah, but even before that, you sewed for the kids.
Oh, I always sewed for
You
kids.
sewed their clothes.
I always sewed their
Yeah.
clothes. Jackie never had a coat out of the store when she was 10 years old. I sewed
Wow.
her.
Wow.
So that's probably why I sewed.
Yeah.
Did you just sew for the kids or did you sew for yourself?
I sewed for all of us. I mean, Tom, when he's little, the cutest little, I always wanted like a little winter coat, that tweed stuff. And we couldn't afford to buy it. So I made him a little coat and a little hat with a little bill on it to match.
Aww.
He wore that probably for a couple of years.
You made that little blazer that he had on in that
In
photo
that-
that's hanging in your house.
In the red, yeah, for Christmas.
Yes. Like a little
So that's the end of the story.
That's the end
Oh,
of
no, I got a question. Can we backtrack? Were Patty and Terry born at home or did you go to the hospital with Patty?
Oh, I was in the hospital in West
Really?
Virginia.
Really? I've always wondered that.
Dr. One.
What did they charge back? About $125, something like that.
Wow.
For a hospital visit to have a kid?
No, the doctor.
Just
That
so
was
that.
the doctor.
Just the dog.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember anything about paying them. I never paid them.
You didn't pay him.
So,
I think they've forgiven that debt.
Now, when you guys started dating them, didn't you used to have to walk to go see her when she was working over at that school?
at the what?
Didn't you walk a long ways to go?
I couldn't walk. He used to go down on the creek.
I walked out there one time to get shots because, man, this other guy wouldn't take the ones when they come to school to give them. We wouldn't take them. But then another time they got after us, we walked, probably 2 or 3 miles out to school. Well, really was where she was cooking. and got her shots. I never did that vaccination.
I can't believe I ever cooked in that school. I went to work for this couple that had a farm, and I stayed with them, and I helped her with her housework because she was a teacher at the school. But I cooked at that school with served lunches.
And how old were you? How old were you?
Before I was married, probably 17.
I was gonna say now, correct me if I'm wrong. You were, how old when you got married? You were 19?
18.
18.
You were 17.
I'm 17.
Okay, I thought there was a bigger gap than that. Okay, so you were 18 and you were 17.
1 year, 1 month, 1 day older than me.
Okay.
I never let her forget it there for that 1 month because she's 2 years older than me.
You said correct.
So did you lie about your age?
No, it was
Oh.
17.
And everybody knew it? You didn't have to?
Well, my mom and dad had to sign it.
That's, I was gonna say, did you have to have somebody's parental permission in order to?
Well, his mom and dad didn't want him.
They want me to go to college. They want me to go to college after we got married.
Your parents did?
Yeah.
What did they want you to go to college for?
Trying to get smarter. They thought I wasn't smart. You know what they used to say that they taught you in West Virginia?
What?
Reading and writing in Route 21. Route 21 brought you from West Virginia up to Canton, Akron, and Cleveland, and you wouldn't start today.
Did a job.
Okay.
Grandma, you want some coffee?
I bet when I went to work at the gas company, 3/4 of the people at the gas company was from West Virginia.
Really?
The foreman's was all from West Virginia.
All relatives, really.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
One time, I don't have any relation to, I had worked in there. I think I had 10 or 12.
But
Yeah,
the place,
because Claire's,
Ronnie,
yeah, Ronnie's, them, and what was the other one's name? Velma's boy or whatever,
Leon.
Leon. They all worked there for a while. Dale, Buzzy, who else?
Jack, my brother, Jack,
Jack,
Gary.
yeah, Gary. Gary,
But when we bought the house where we are now,
Uh-huh.
that was the worst looking house on the street. It really was.
It was scary on the inside.
It was. The trees were up over the windows. You didn't even see all the windows.
you couldn't see any of the windows in the front of the house.
And I think Jackie's David was, he might have been, what, 6 months old? Kevin?
Roughly, yeah. He was under a year, I know that.
But we put him in a playpen. Jackie and I go out there at that house and work, and we'd put David in the playpen, and we couldn't let him out on the floor. It was just so bad.
Cause it was.
And there was like horrible things on the walls, like
Oh.
spray painted and
Them kids that
Oh.
lived there, they
It
get
was
mad at each
terrible.
other and they draw all kinds of stuff on the walls.
Oh,
It was awful.
that's terrible.
But I would get up in the mornings when we lived in East Lebanon
Mhm.
and go to work at 8,
Uh-huh.
leave there and go out to that house and work till 10, 11 o'clock at night.
Mhm.
Back home, same thing. We had to pick up something to eat going home. We worked in that, what 2 or 3 months like that.
Yeah, I think we did 38,000 for the house or something.
And that's how we worked. That place was awful.
We probably put another $10,000 in.
Into it.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. And it's beautiful today. I mean, it's.
We sure, I'd never do it again.
Yeah, I don't
And all
blame
the
you.
woodwork and the doors down the hall,
Uh-huh.
they were all painted white. And we bought varnish remover and took all that off of them and then revarnished everything.
Well, didn't you move the basement steps?
Oh, we had the basement steps.
I know where they're at now.
They went down where the sink is in the kitchen.
Yeah,
There was
Well,
no
they-
window in the house.
in the kitchen.
So we put a window in.
Oh, okay.
We worked that thing.
We got that house
We
on a
moved
Monday.
walls. We moved petitions, we did everything.
Well, did you guys take any pictures of the way it was when you bought
I
it?
ever did or not.
I don't think.
I highly doubt
Oh,
If you did, Tom doesn't know where they's at.
you have them, or you?
That,
There's
I
no
don't think there
pictures
were
of
any
that.
pictures.
but we got that house,
We weren't as voyeuristic back then as we are now.
we got that house on a Monday. And I had a good friend who was a carpenter.
Mhm.
And I called him and I said, could you stop by the house? I said, I don't want you to do anything but just measure and mark for me. Because I've done some favors for him.
Okay.
And he come by and I sure didn't want to move in a step over to this.
Before you come in the back.
I said, you just measure and mark, tell me where it's all. And
Okay.
he marked the floor, or that was Monday. Saturday, them steps was over, you could walk down
That's
to
right.
the basement.
Because that staircase wasn't there originally.
Wow.
And it was right about the time I came on the picture that you guys built that room back. At that family,
Mm-hmm.
because that was going on. a long time.
How long has that been? How long you been there? Has that been 20 years that family room's been back here?
It's 30.
30.
We'll be married 30 years in November.
Well, that room's been there 30 years? Has it really?
How old were you, Kevin, when I first met you guys?
I was like in the second or third grade.
Yeah.
I just remember like walking, I was Barberton Church, walking down the parking lot with you and Tom.
David was a top.
And we go to, up to Jackie Rick's to visit in the evenings.
Mhm.
We'd be there for a little bit. Here come Kevin with her coat, so we could go home.
Oh yeah.
He just wanted to live with us.
I know. I've heard stories about how he would come down with the suitcase and come here, us.
Yeah, he wanted to come with his coat. Our coats put on to go home,
Yep.
so he's going home.
Yep, work. I'm going with you.
But Brian would never, he'd never come hardly ever stay all night. Now David would. David would stay so long that Greg would call and say, come home. But we've had a good life.
And when did you guys start going down to Florida? Because I remember being
84.
84. So David would have been 4. I'd have been about 8 years old, and I would sit at Barberton Church during the sermon after we got done singing, and pull my little hymnal over, and I'd write Grandma a note. And Mom would mail it to her. I'd write her one every Sunday.
I know.
And it was just during the winter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And then when I was 13 or 14, after I had my surgery, I came down and spent a week with you guys.
Yes, you did.
Second week of my Christmas vacation, I spent down in Florida with Grandma and Grandpa fishing.
Okay.
I never saw such lonely roads in my life.
The drive from Orlando down to Lake Okeechobee is a very lonely, flat,
It was.
dead drive. There's nothing.
Okay.
Till you get down to like Kissimmee, then there's like a little town.
Right.
But there's nothing. Between Orlando and nothing. There's just a whole lot of nothing.
So how many years did you guys go down there with Papa? You had your, in your Highland.
1 year.
One year? And that was out on the res, right? That
Yeah,
was,
then we bought a park model.
Right.
A mobile home.
Yeah, and you had that nice room, that Florida room built out on it.
I retired in 84. And we had the, I love Paul and Sally wanted us to come to Florida. And we went down there and spent, I think, 2 weeks with them. Back home. And got really then, must not have been winter yet or something. We went back down, took the high-low, stayed at a campground right behind where they were living.
1 year we did
Yeah.
that.
Then,
That must have been 85.
We was still working the first time we went.
no, what,
Huh? No, you didn't, because you didn't let me.
then, her and Sally would go up on the reservation and use the laundromat. And so next winter, we moved our trailer up on the reservation.
Right.
And we were up there for 8 or 9 years.
No wonder we're old people.
Because Cause I remember the very first, the first year you guys went down there and really stayed from like late fall to spring, was the year I was pregnant for Liz.
And then you was home and Liz come once while we was
She was 2.
in Okeechobee
Liz and I came by ourselves the first time. And Lizzie was 2.
on the reservation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the next year, right, and then the next year we all 3 came down, and that's when, is that when she caught that big fish?
That's,
Yeah,
yes,
You took her fishing.
yeah, I took her fishing.
3 years old, caught a catfish. Tomorrow had a jerk her in the lake.
Weighed 9 pounds.
Oh my gosh!
It did.
Not as tall as her.
I threw the line out. We was all standing there talking, you know. And a little bit she started in hollering. I looked, she was trying to hold on to it, you know. I helped her get it out of the water, and this one fellow, he went and got his movie camera, took pictures of it.
Awesome.
Then we turned it loose again.
That's awesome.
Or whatever happened, we never got them pictures, did we?
I got one picture.
Huh?
I got a picture someone took.
Yeah, someone took it, yeah.
That's
So
it.
we've had an exciting life.
But we lived on the Indian reservation. I suppose 8 or 9 years.
That's where I stayed with you guys.
Now, I was having a few problems.
Then we moved to Okeechobee
Moved into Okeechobee.
for 9 years, 10, almost.
About a 14 to 16. Oh,
Okay.
and that worked
But
out.
no matter where we lived, we worked in that house.
Right.
We always was working around that. And,
Remodeled that. We was there last winter. What was he doing? He was, did he have to replace the floor
I don't know who you're talking about.
down there? Gotta be something.
No. But a lot of in that park had to redo the floor.
Yeah, they had to replace the floor.
Because of the storms,
Floor, yeah.
because of those hurricanes.
They did have to replace the floor.
I thought they did.
In the
Some of
bedrooms,
them.
in the 2 bedrooms. But sometimes I wish we never saw that.
Not work.
And then you got all the Myrtle Beach storms.
Oh my gosh.
How many times have you guys had to leave down there because of hurricanes? You have to move inland when Hugo came through?
They tore it up, we couldn't go back.
What was the other one? Andrew.
Angry.
It seemed like the minute you guys get down there.
Okay.
They come, we
Well,
haven't
then
had one now.
I remember the combined family vacations down to the KOA.
Yeah.
And those little those little things that stuck to your heel.
Well, that
While
was
trying to
birds.
get from that little
Them
little
little
apartment
birds.
that we were staying, the little birds.
Yo, I know.
Forgot what those are.
Oh, I remember the one year we were there, they were building the big condo off to the side, and that roof, the floor collapsed on.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah.
We watched that happen.
we were renting that apartment
Mm-hmm.
We watched,
there, right on the campground. We was sitting there.
and we'd go to
Then
Myrtle
Ben
Beach.
started
And
hollering,
they
yeah.
had apartments they rented. We
Yeah.
rent one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And Jackie and Rick was there.
Yep.
And Lizzie was little,
Yep.
baby.
I came
You
just
came
me and
with
Liz
them.
one time.
I fed Liz from a bottle in
Yes,
that
you
apartment.
did, sweetie.
And then,
You did.
You did what?
I fed Liz from a bottle in that
Yeah.
apartment.
And
Because that was the summer after she was born.
that's when Rick got up in the night and the roaches was all
The
over that
silverfish.
place. And
Yeah.
Rick was hitting them with it. And that guy next door, we called Tom and they come and sprayed. Well,
Right.
they run all over into the next room,
They just went to
and
the-
that was the owner. He was there. He said,
Manager of the park from some
he
other
knew
town.
we couldn't, he says, I'll give you another week's free if you want to stay. Well, we couldn't stay because we had to go back to work. We
Right.
had to leave, but that's what he did.
I wrote down, Lizzie and I wrote down in the
Uh-huh.
station wagon.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, just
And
like that I
then,
told.
when that hurricane came, it tore that apartment.
But then I also remember going down to Myrtle Beach in the back of your truck.
Do you?
Yeah, when you had the cap on the truck,
Uh-huh.
and I'd sat in the back. I rode down all the way down to Florida in the back of that truck, just rolling around in the back, opening the window.
Do what you want to do back there.
It's great.
That was something, they were born the concrete up on, I think, the 4th floor.
It was up high.
It
It was
was.
up pretty high.
And they just got it poured, stuff given away and it all fell to the 3rd floor.
Oh,
Just
Nobody got hurt.
good.
But they looked like they about ready to jump.
Yeah.
remember the time that men was frying fish over on the beach?
I remember that guy. Yes.
And them
Mullet.
kids, them boys, little three, they loved them fish. They was frying them and you could just go over and eat them.
Walk right up to him and they catching him and frying him right there on the
Yeah.
beach.
Oh,
What was that?
good.
They were boat men.
It was
They-
that
They come
water.
down there and that's what they come for, to get mullet,
Uh-huh.
which is supposed to be a rough fish like carp. But they get their coolers full by using nets out in the ocean. Then this is what they do. They set up a grill and cook them fish and give them.
Wow.
Just go over and eat all you want.
Yeah.
You
Wow.
had you could walk. There was a pier.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think it was even to the north or whatever. And then when you went that way off the beach, there was that waterway that was tidal.
Mhm.
The swash.
Swash.
Yeah.
And it was like riptides in there when the tides were pulling. I mean, it was pretty powerful in there. It was pretty scary for us as little kids trying to get across that. And if you kept walking down, there was another pier a little ways down.
They don't catch fish down there like they did back then. That pier, they're at the campground, condemned
Oh wow!
from hurricanes. But they left it there, they tore it down for years. Fishing on there was just like fishing in a fish hatchery. I went down there one Sunday morning by myself. The ocean was quiet, which is some years was clear and quiet. Waiting out there and started fishing. I was catching trout, the old 5 or 6 pounds, you know. This friend of ours, she come down there. She took him out. She said, "You better get down there. He's gonna kill himself."
And then one time, he was out there fishing, and when he caught fish, he would tie it to the pier.
Oh.
Go ahead and fish.
The pilot there.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, this one, I think she was from Jamaica or something.
Indian or something.
Her and some other woman, I think it was 2 women. And she come over there, and I didn't know what, I was down, I didn't know what she's doing. But she took the fish.
I was way out in the water.
He had them tied to the pier.
Yeah.
Well, I watched her a little bit, and I didn't know what she gonna do. Well, she went there and started up the boardwalk back. I took after her, and I caught up with her, and I said, "What are you doing with those fish?" "Oh, I'm just gonna take pictures." I said, "Not up here, you're not."
Exactly. No, you're
I
not.
said, "I want the fish." Well, my husband, I took them back.
She's fantastic.
She's gonna take them home and cook them.
Exactly.
There was 3 or 4 of them.
Exactly. Gosh, that's too funny.
I know.
That's too funny.
And my brothers and I thought going to the Piggly Wiggly was the coolest thing on earth.
I know.
We'd never heard of such a thing. We thought it was pretend.
And then one time we went and headed Jackie and Rick to Merolla Beach, remember? When we took David to the highway. Well, he did real good with us, but when we got to the campground, you could go swim. But it said on the sign, you have to be accompanied by your parents. So David, he went down like, well, but he comes back crying. He said, "I can't go swimming, Grandma." He said, "My mom and dad's not here." I said, "Honey, we're your parents right now. You
Now, did you guys go down with my folks the year I was born? Because I went down, there were pictures, there used to be pictures of me as an infant. and I got like a severe sunburn. I was less than a year, maybe just over a year old at the time. I didn't know if that was one of the vacations.
I
that
remember
took
going
place.
with Tom and Dawn and your mom
Oh, yeah.
and Lizzie. And who else? Was it just all of us? And we stayed
Oh, no,
there.
Jackie.
Jackie and Rick and the boys in that big house.
Yeah, you guys stayed in your
Camp.
camper,
Uh-huh.
and we all were,
In the big house.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
It was a 2-level,
yes.
and the bottom level had all the cockroaches in it, and they let us move upstairs.
Right.
That was the second cockroach incident.
That's
I remember
One
that.
time,
Because that was the year that it rained and flooded out that road that we were staying on.
one time we all went with Jackie and Rick and the boys to Myrtle Beach, and they was on the first floor, and we was on the fourth floor
At the motel.
at the motel. And a little bit we heard this little peck at the door, and we was up on the fourth floor. We went to the door, and there was Kevin and Brian. They were just little, standing. How they ever got up there, we do not know. How they ever found their way up there. They were little.
They're smart.
David
They
was a
must-
baby then.
That's when they said I act like I owned that motel once.
Yeah, we stayed in the hotel going down. They had
Joining room.
joining rooms. And Kevin and Brian kept running through that. We were in that bedroom where Ralph was sleeping back the other way. Ralph yelled at him and they went back and said, "Your mom. Careful, please see that."
I was tired. He was driving. So what about some of your vacations that you had when you camped out west?
Yeah, I remember hearing, and didn't you bring a tree back from
We
Colorado
never
once?
camping out west much.
Huh?
Did we?
No, we went out there. Went to Pikes Peak.
Well, that's when Jackie was little.
Yeah. That's somewhere I've been trying to get Cassandra to go.
It seemed to me like you pulled a
I can't wait.
15-foot
We're gonna go.
trailer at Pikes Peak.
It got tore up by wildfires last year, so it's in
But that's what we
regrowth
took
now.
with us, that's how we went. One time we stayed at Yellowstone, Jackie and,
Rangers was given
who was it, Jackie and someone, who was it?
attic.
Hey,
Rangers was given a speech, you know, and an informational deal. But the bear in Yellowstone, them two behind your trailer, you know, checking the trash can and stuff. And the kids had seen the bear before they went to that ranger deal. To come back at night, or come back in the evening. And Patty went in the trailer. I stuck my knuckles right up against her feet and I grunted to her. She screamed and we're right on in there.
Oh.
then about the time that we was gonna have a picnic, they said, what was that?
That was in Yellowstone. We went
Yellowstone.
up in Yellowstone. We got her stuff all out of her. that
Jackie
picnic
was
table.
little that you could hold her in your arms. That's how little she was. Patty and Terry.
Picnic table there. We got her food all out on it. Here comes the big bear. And Jackie and I stayed there. I picked up Jackie. They all went to the car. How did she get to the car and lock the door?
Oops, so we couldn't get in.
But Jackie and I stayed there. And that bear was on one side and I on that side of the picnic table and I was on this side with her. And we still had food there,
Uh-huh.
but we had it bagged up, ready to take them. Because that bear made one swipe, tore her bag up and a loaf of bread came out. He just grabbed it in his mouth and went bouncing off it. I just grabbed the tablecloth for the ends and I took off with the car.
Because a Chinese couple just drove up and put their stuff out. So boy, they didn't
Go
stay.
see them.
They went.
You were only in Yellowstone one time?
That I could think of, maybe it was there twice. I don't know.
I was out there hunting a few times.
Yeah, we went to Wyoming. Tom was with you.
Colorado.
Yeah. Who all went on that trip?
Bunch of trips.
Yeah.
Bunch of trips, huh?
Yeah, but you know that one trip, I think it, about 9 of them sounded. But the most of Seville. Now, friend of Paul Blake. And here a few years back, Paul called me one day and he said, Ralph, he said, you know Mel died. He was a bachelor. They always said rich. He was from Seville. But anyway, he said, you know who that leaves of that hunting group? I said, no. He said, you and I. And he does. So I'm the only one.
You're the last surviving Wyoming hunter.
I'm the last of the one.
Well, didn't Tom go once with you out there?
He went that little thing.
Did you go when they took Fred that time? You did go.
Gary was on that trip.
And he's dead. Me, Fred. Huh?
No, not Fred.
Huh?
They took Fred one.
Yeah, me and Fred and Gary and Gary.
No.
I think that's it. Because we stayed in tents. Took a tent.
Fred had never been in
And we stayed in the Badlands in a tent.
What did Fred think about that?
Fred called them sleeping bags, duffel bags. We went to sleep this one night. We got the blow in the tent, you know, got right up out there. He come and he said, I'm not sleeping here anymore. I'm going to the car. Your old said, we might as well get up and take the tent down because we're leaving. He'd never been out there. He said if he could run, if the man looked run, he could get him. He said, I shot a deer in West Virginia running.
Well, that's like my dad.
He'd empty the gun at the antelope and shake his head and he'd say, I've never seen anything run so fast in my life.
It's like my dad when he moved Jack to Cleveland. When he crossed the Ohio River, he thought he was
So he was.
he thought he was there in Cleveland. When he crossed the Ohio River, he thought he went to Cleveland.
No.
Well, Fred had never been anywhere like that, you know. We'd drive, you know, and so we'd come to this and him and Mom talked about it a little bit. He had no idea really where he was at. Anyhow.
Terry went with you one time.
Yeah, that's when he got that movie.
Yeah.
So you went with him.
Yeah, that was one. Paul and I started hunting in Colorado, but I never did kill him.
Your deer looks kind of little beside that.
I shot it in elk out in Colorado. Missed it, didn't throw down, and the guy told me I hit a quick head right in the horse.
I got a question. I got another one.
Okay.
Because I just think it was the sweetest memory to have when you guys used to go down home at Christmas time or in the winter, and they had to come down. You couldn't make it up.
We're going.
No, we didn't.
You couldn't make it up the hill, and they came down. Didn't you?
No, remember him carrying him?
I pulled her.
Oh yeah, Tom and Ralph and I and Tom, and we took Carrie Ann with us. She must have been maybe 4.
Jackie was there.
She wasn't.
Jackie wasn't with us that
She
time.
wasn't?
Not that one time. And it
I
was
bet she
snowing.
wasn't. She wasn't over 2 or 3.
Tom went over the bank. We couldn't drive in. Then Tom went over the hill and got that
Fender.
horse tub, wasn't it? A tower.
Huh?
The wash tub.
It was a big tub someone had thrown away. And we just put her in that and covered her up and took her. How far? 2 miles?
Good mile anyway.
And we'd look at it a little bit and she'd just be sitting there laughing. She was enjoying that ride. And we got her to the house and we took her up on the porch and I said to my mom, we brought you something. She took that off and she said, you're gonna kill that child.
Poor Mary. Oh my gosh.
Carrie Ann was just a smile, boy, she was happy, wasn't she? She didn't
But you
care.
guys used to have a sleigh too, that you used to, didn't you have a sleigh? Didn't Grandpa have a, you just used to use the horses or?
My mom and dad.
Yeah.
Oh, on Christmas,
Yeah.
my mom and dad, we never had a car. So
Okay.
they had, on Christmas, or we'd go to my grandma's on Sunday.
Yeah.
He'd fix that sled all up with straw in it and get the horses and bring it up to the house, and we'd all get in and we'd all cover up, you know,
Uh-huh.
and we'd go to grandma's. And
Okay.
that's how we would come back.
Okay.
That was our way of traveling.
Wow. That's incredible.
I know. But here we are today,
Mm-hmm.
84 and 85 years old, still going.
You and Uncle Jack got scared to death the first time you saw a car.
Oh, I told him that. I did.
Huh?
Huh?
But you
No, you
What'd you
haven't.
say?
No, you haven't.
heard
No.
that story yet?
Huh?
The car story?
I love
Yeah.
that story. You gotta tell us.
I told him.
Not since, no, come on.
I don't know this story.
Kevin doesn't know the story.
Car story? Like me and my brother? I said, it's on there. I said, me and my brother we had to walk, you know. But we know this man that lived over the hill from us. But we didn't know anything about the cars. And him and I was walking back to our house for something. We'd been somewhere. We were on Red Gate. And his car was coming. Well, we didn't know. We thought that car was going to eat us up. But we grabbed each other. We ran up off the road, up in the field, and we just hugged each other. We were scared to death, thinking something was going to get us. Isn't that awful?
It made such a loud noise. You were used to horses. I love that story. You
We
and Uncle
must have
Jack.
been, we was probably 5, 6 years old. I don't know. We were dumb. We didn't know what was going on.
You were dumb.
Cars were new to most people back
Yeah,
then.
right.
Huh?
Cars were new to most people still then.
How long did you wait in the field though before
After the car passed.
after it was passed? It
And
was
it went on. We knew
Okay.
It was gone.
you couldn't see it anymore. It was good.
I don't know what we told my mom and dad when we got home. And you know how my dad caught my brother, broke him for peeing his pants?
No, I honestly don't know.
He put his pants and my dad picked him up and took him around the house and dumped him in a rain barrel full of water, brought him up, put him back in. He never wet his pants again.
Oh my gosh. Hey, it worked though.
It worked.
It worked.
Oh. Remember the time, I think it was you.
Diane, but
Not
Up was
Diane.
Barn.
Up was Barn.
me and Barbara.
Barbara. My dad, when we went out, when my mom and dad lived out on the farm out there, he had to go across the road to the barn.
Okay.
And there was a well there.
Okay.
They kept it covered. And I don't know if they got water out there for the horses.
Sister.
A sister. Him and his cousin went up there one day and they hollered.
Okay.
What'd they say?
Help.
Help! Help! Like Barb was drowning?
Yeah.
Oh, my dad and my brother, they about killed themselves getting over there. And it was a lie. They weren't. They just was joking.
You could have fell in, Daisy. It wouldn't
I
cover
probably
up.
better off I would have.
So
Probably got a real good whipping.
I was gonna say, what was the aftermath of that then?
I don't know what it was.
Whipped me all the way to the house. I wanted to figure out why he was whipping me.
She made out in the winter time, like worse than Jello. Cooked it too long.
Oh, too thick.
Yeah, you just pour it in the, get it in the center like a slush. It's like you wouldn't mush or a lot of other stuff, you know.
We always made apple butter, put the plums. Make plum butter
Okay.
and apple butter both
Okay.
in the big skillets outside.
Yeah.
We always put them little
Big
cinnamon
kettles,
drops
big
and
kettles. Yeah, the red hot.
change the color and give the
The cinnamon flavor.
happy taste.
And then my dad always hauled walnuts. He'd get them all
Black walnuts.
He'd get them down, we'd go out there in front of the salad house. With gloves on, so they can hold them.
Have to have gloves.
Oh, yeah. Stain your hands up awful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Use green tomato to take the stain off.
I never got stained. I always had big gloves on. I don't know.
Small wallpaper and you go down and put new wallpaper on every year.
Well, I wallpapered one year, and I was trying to show which one of the kids was there. How the little wallpaper, my mom's bedroom, not going into that. And I leaned over to put a strip of paper up, fell off the ladder, broke my nose. And Ralph, when my dad and Ralph come in, the butcher knife was laying, all they could see was the handle of the butcher.
Because you've been using that to cut the paper with.
I
Yeah,
had to
man,
use
right
it.
on the butcher knife.
Good night, yeah.
Huh? Kind of knocked me out a little bit. Mom said that's the fastest I ever rode the car to the hospital.
Broke your nose.
My dad said, there'll never be another strip of wallpaper hung in this house.
He was worried about you.
Oh, he was. It's a wonder I really hadn't fell on that picture.
Yeah.
Because when that Ralph come in, all they could see was the handle of that butcher knife, and I was laying on the rest of it.
That was after I went to work at the gas company because that doctor was so long building the hospitalization. Remember, they wouldn't pay. Enough time. Something about getting it.
I know Susan was down there when that happened. She was pregnant.
Susan?
Missy. She always said that's why Missy had that big birth.
That's right, that's what she said.
Because she got scared when you fell.
Oh, wow, that's an old wives' tale.
But Jackie must have, I don't know. I know Tom was there.
Jackie was there.
Yeah, he had to be there. Used to go out there and work in that place like his hours, you know. He did.
You worked there for your mom and dad.
Or he did.
You did it for your mom. Now what about your sweet mother-in-law?
No,
I know.
she was the best. Ralph's mom, no, she was such a best.
Yeah, I can't figure how we lived the first year. I can't remember.
We didn't have, and then back then you bought butter, a pound of butter
Yeah.
in a block. And it was white.
Okay.
And it had a little plastic thing come with it, was a collar in it.
How's that oleum?
Oh,
Yeah, they wasn't
and
allowed.
you had to mix that with that, it looked like lard.
Okay.
And you had to mix that in that really good to make it look, yeah, like butter.
It was against the law from the sell oleo, you know,
With the collar in it.
with the coloring in. But they'd show you the color to put it in.
And if you didn't want to think it was eating lard, you had to collar it because you wouldn't want, you had to make it think it was.
Exactly how to make it look like
Right.
butter. Wow.
Quilting with Esty.
But we make a lot of our own butter back on the farm.
Ralph's mom was quilted. And I loved to go down there and sit in the quilt. And she said, I never thought I'd have a daughter or daughter-in-law would ever be a quilter.
We churned our own butter, made our own ice cream. We go to the creek and either get the blocks of ice out of the creek or where the rocks were and the icicles hanging down, take a feed sack and go fill that up. And bring that home, break it up.
That's cool.
make the ice cream. Didn't we?
Coal out of your own coal mine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Had her
I
own-
had a coal mine before.
had her own coal mine. We probably was back in the hill, as wide as this room, anywhere wide. Right back in. Took holes, you know, and stuff, and blocked it up so it wouldn't fall. Yeah, it was like 6 foot wide, about 5 foot high. Right back in the hillside.
They'd go coal out
This was on your property?
Yeah.
on his mom and dad's.
Okay.
It was probably 300 yards from my house or something, just up inside the hill. But we used to go up there and mine our own coal, but I can't remember us burning it.
I don't know.
I never, because we always had gas.
So what would you get the coal?
I don't know, but we must have had a coal stove back in.
We stopped there one time after the people bought that house. They fixed it up so nice.
He
And he
couldn't,
wanted us to come back and show him where the coal mine was.
well, he wasn't there that day.
He
She
wanted-
was there.
But they want us to come back and
He
show him.
couldn't find it.
He couldn't find it.
We even had a pipe
Never did go back.
down through the back about 30 feet
Mhm.
for air.
Mhm.
So, you know, if you needed air in there, then we let coal out of there in the wheelbar,
What'd you do with it?
but then sledding, what
You know,
were we done with? Because I can't remember us ever having a coal stove. Because we had a gas line went through the front of the house. But we lived on survival farms. Her farm, I don't think, where they lived was maybe 20 acres. We had about 35 acres. We figured we had our own coal. We usually had 50 chickens. We usually had 2 hogs, 2 cows. You know, and we had a
Chicken.
big garden, you know, pretty big garden, you know.
Self-sustained.
Exactly, yeah, it was
Drum water.
self-sustaining.
Yeah, everything you needed to survive.
And my mom in the spring would get 50 chickens, baby chickens.
Yeah.
And that's what grew up and
They
laid
shipped
the
them,
eggs and ate them.
they shipped them to you in about a 3x3 box, about
Yep.
that high.
Yep.
And you got them in, you had an incubator at home to keep them warm until they got big enough, you know, to really survive.
Okay.
Then she would kill them, you know.
Live like that again.
If you wanted a chicken on Sunday, you didn't give us John Eagle or somewhere. You went out and killed your own. I've seen my mother hang 6 or 8 chickens up on the clothesline. Through there, cut their heads off. If they was hanging up, they wouldn't bruise themselves up on this flock and die. Then take them down and scald them, pick the feathers
And
off.
she'd have them in the chicken, in the skillet frying by noon.
We eat something off of that chicken I bet you never ate.
What?
The egg bag.
No, we never ate that.
Did you ever hear? You know, we were down there in the Amish country, down in Charm, you know, and I was checking out one day. I need chicken livers in there, and I asked this gal, she was an older woman, but the cash register. I said, "I'll bet you've eaten egg bags out of chickens." "Oh, sure, we saved them for gravy and stuff." And they were really good.
Sally Blake always ate them. She liked them. And Rick's, my mom, when they killed the pit hogs, she would always make Ralph pickled pig feet.
Mm.
Pickled pig feet.
Yep.
And he just loved them. But she always made them for him. And I cared for them too. Like
I even bought some meat.
you even bought some, took them to her one
Well,
time.
when we were up in Kim with her, I think I bought some pickles and pig feet. and
I
stuff.
tried those. I remember trying them.
Did you?
When you lived over there.
Mm-hmm.
I was just little and I tried it.
Probably liked them.
I liked everything. I tried everything.
You still do.
So does
So
Ralph.
Tom just you mentioned head cheese, and head cheese is actually making a comeback now. It's like
See, my
part of
mom
that farm
always,
to table thing.
my mom always
Peppery.
made the head cheese out of the hog.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they always made all that stuff.
Boil the head, pick the meat, and use the juice to coagulate it all
They
up.
didn't throw anything, boy.
Use everything but the eyes.
Like the old Italians back in the old country, they used everything but the oink.
Ralph used to slide down the road and drag the toes out of your shoes to slow you down
I never heard
on the
that.
sled. Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
Drag the
You
toes
should
out
drag
my
your-
shoes?
No, him.
Oh, I probably did.
Probably did.
Sliding down the
probably.
Well, you know, we really go barefooted all the summer just about.
Sure.
Oh, I never washed.
Run the gravel roads, and creek and stuff, you know.
Uh-huh.
Go for a mile or two up the creek. Take a coffee can with us and some, put 2 or 3 eggs in them, go up there and build a farm, boil them eggs and eat them and stuff like that, you know.
Spend all day outside
Yeah.
once you got your chores done.
What they used to call you growing up?
Jim.
Jim.
I was always Jim. That's the last thing my brother ever said to me. That morning he died, he says, I love you, Jim.
Oh.
They always called me Jim. My mom and dad always did too.
Why? I heard Grandma call you Jim.
Because I kept my hair cut, I suppose, like a boy. I don't know. I was such a tomboy that they
Okay.
always called me Jim.
Okay.
Ralph still calls me Jim.
I want to get her attention. Jim or Georgia?
So how old were you when Patty was born?
Well,
15.
Oh,
I was 18 when we got married. I must have been.
Well, Patty was
She was married in 46, Patty was born in 45.
I was 18. She had to be 19.
19.
Because I was 18.
Okay. And then Terry came, what, 2 years later, or?
A month before the wedding.
Behave yourself. Behave yourself.
Well, Terry, Patty, Patty and Terry, and then Tom, then Jackie. It was 5 years.
Between Jack and Tom.
6.
6 years.
Maybe there was 5 years. Patty was, she might have been 15 when Jackie was born. I'm not sure. I don't know.
She just faked me off till she got tired and weak and then she get pregnant.
I see. I see how you are.
Patty was that old when I was born.
Huh?
She was that old when I was born.
Patty was
Oh.
15 when you were born.
Who was 15? Patty was 50. She was.
15 or 16.
And then Tom and Jackie was 5 years between.
Right.
I just about.
So you were 19 when Patty was born. 21 when Terry was born.
Well, Terry's 63 or 4 now. Jackie's what?
56.
50 something? 4.
56.
Patty's, Jackie? She's 56.
It's 2 years older
56.
than me.
Every time one started school, we had another one.
Well, you know, you always wanted to keep one at home with you.
I did.
That's why you threw that at me.
Look at the picture.
Look at that picture over here in this corner. That,
This one.
right there. Now you look at that.
Oh, myself. Okay.
All right. Back when we were married,
Are you sure?
that resembles her. As soon as I seen that,
It does.
I did too.
as soon as I showed it to her, I said, who does this look like? Me.
Do you have another husband that we don't know about?
Right.
I might.
Yeah, what's his name?
What's his name?
H.T.
Good old Buddy Taylor.
Do you
Huh?
need a measuring?
Good old Buddy Taylor.
Buddy Taylor, that's it.
You know, I saw him
Buddy Taylor.
one time. We went to the class reunion in Knoxville. He was there.
Does he live in the county?
He lives at Talmadge,
Yeah,
somewhere. I can't.
up here.
Anyway,
She sneaks off and goes over that way.
he said, he just gave me the big side, and then we talked about this and that years ago. He said, well, what was wrong with you? He said, I don't know what was wrong with me back then. Like he should have just dated me and got married. I thought, you jerk. They had a beer, but he talked to me. He remembered me.
Yeah, he lives out there.
He lives in there off of Arlington Street. He does too. He did. When he's married, he had his wife with him.
But he lost so much weight after his first heart incident.
Yeah,
Oh,
After his
yeah.
first surgery.
I'm down to 170, I think, that time.
Oh, wow.
I've never seen someone change the way they eat so fast. As when Grandpa
That's
did
when
when
you
he
became a vegetarian, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You were eating
But
apple juice with your cornflix.
I don't
yeah,
know.
applesauce. I went 10 years without eating any meat. Then had 5 bypasses.
Until we go to Florida the 3rd of December, which we don't know if we're going to do that.
I was gonna say, I think you had decided not to do that
We don't know
this year.
what we're going to do. Ralph says we're not. But I said, what's he going to do up there all night? You know?
Deer, ice fish.
Deer hunt.
Ice fish.
Ice fishing sounds like fun.
There you go.
As long as we have ice.
If we-
Never did ice fish in a while.
Oh my God, I remember the first time Grandma took her teeth out. I remember that, because I knew Grandpa had false teeth. I knew
He
that.
was always showing them you kids.
Right, but I had never seen Grandma. And Grandma was like,
Okay.
You know, we were after this one Sunday down in Florida. You know, we'd all go out and eat these pretty nice restaurants. This was the Seminole Inn, I think was the one we was at. one Sunday. Anyway, that nice lounge, you know, with sofas, nice
Oh,
chairs around. We just walked in there, we was waiting and all that, and
Line
wanted to go in.
to take it
And
to.
this woman comes in there, dressed real nice, you know, probably 70 years old. But she just sat down like a chair.
And the rest put it back.
Just as if she was sitting
In
somewhere,
her living room.
just like she was somewhere all to herself,
Right?
you know?
Pop 'em out, hey? Oh.
I couldn't believe it. She didn't act like she cared if anybody
No.
was around or not. Didn't bother her.
Let the world go by.
Wow.
My brother, I don't know how old Jack was, standing in the doorway. He says, I think I kicked this shoe over your head. On his foot, all untied, ready to go, you know.
Uh-huh.
I think I could kick this shoe over your head. And I said, why don't you go ahead and try it? He did, and hit me right in the mouth. Knocked my 2 front teeth straight back. Didn't knock them out, they broke them, you know.
And these were your adult teeth?
Oh, yes. Oh,
She was
yeah.
older than him.
What?
I said, you were older than him, so it was your adult teeth.
Oh, yeah, yeah. But then, from then on, then I had to go to the dentist. When I married Ralph, I had 2 gold crowns.
That's why I married her. The gold in her mouth, I thought she was rich.
What'd you do with them? Still got them?
Your broken teeth.
Still have
The
them?
dentist never gave them back to me.
Wait, when you got your false teeth, you had your gold teeth pulled out, the dentist kept them?
No, I had them.
You had a bridge or something.
I had a bridge for a long time with the gold on
Okay. So you did get the gold teeth back.
it. No, I didn't. He never gave them back to me. I couldn't figure out why. Jackie said that
Because they
dentist was
wouldn't sell 'em.
half crazy anyway.
He kept him and took him to the,
Probably.
yeah,
Took it to the pawn shop.
yeah,
No
melted him
problem.
down and got money for him. Sure.
Because they were
Sure.
left in really good shape. And
So that's what started it.
That's
Your
what-
brother kicked your teeth
that's
out.
what started it, yeah.
Oh my
Now the rest of them were good.
But you know, we had a family
But
doctor.
my brother had his teeth done, and he lived in Akron, and he went to the dentist in West Virginia, Jack. He went to that dentist, had his teeth.
It was Myrtle Beach.
No.
He mailed
And they mailed them teeth to him back to Akron. Made his false teeth and mailed them to him.
That was very kind of them. Most places won't do that
How would
nowadays.
you know they'd fit okay?
Exactly. You gotta try them on.
Took a chance.
family doctor we had in Akron. It's up off of High Street up there. He did not bill his patients. When you went there, if you went there for anything, he give you the statement right then, and you paid him then, or you sent him a check, you never did get a bill. There's a big article in the Beacon Journal about him when he died. Said he was the last of that breed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could go in there, I went in there at noon, when I'd be working with the gas company, and go in there and have these here little bumps on the head. He'd give me a couple chops and Novocaine up there and cut them out and sew them back up and have right back to work. He said, nowadays they'd send you to the hospital or hard to tell where they'd send you. You know?
One night Ralph got sick, he didn't feel good. And I didn't know what to do. Had a stomach ache.
You know what to do.
So I gave him a big dose of castor.
Oh.
Then we called the doctor, and we was gonna take him in the hospital, into the doctor the next morning. So you know, get that doctor pulled up out in come in. Checked out, I told him what. He said, why did you give him castor oil? I said, that's what my mom always did when I got a belly. He said, he's got to go to the hospital right now.
What was wrong with them?
He had
Appendicitis.
appendicitis.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, what, 12, 1 o'clock, we laid, and they give me a spinal. You know, I laid right there just as conscious as could be, and they had a little tent thing set up on the chest so I couldn't see. And they took my appendix out.
Then they did that surgery, put him back in bed, and these two boys was in his room. And they jumped out of bed and rolled his bed up.
Yeah,
This loneliness,
you know, it
they never heard.
seemed to me like we was in a ward, like there's 4 or 5 of us in there.
That's probably how they were set up.
It's
back
possible, yeah.
then. Yeah, there weren't any private or semi-private rooms back then.
No, it was in
This old nurse from out of Norton, she come in there in the morning and get you up. She can weigh you, pee all you can.
Trying to get your weight down.
Yeah, and one night they was they had storm warnings or something. Fire floor. They wheeled us all out, put us in the hall. Mine,
Okay.
Far.
no, for
Tornado
wind,
or something.
for the wind damage.
Oh, because they were worried about glass
Yeah,
in the windows
yeah.
or something.
You
I
know, when we
decorated
lived in town, we always decorated the deer for the kids when he was little.
Yeah,
Always did. Put a Christmas stuff on it,
put a ribbon around his neck.
put a wreath on it.
Put
When I
felt,
was,
put felt antlers on the bear head.
I remember you had a deer mounted that I took home with me. Put it in my parents' basement. The one that had the bullet underneath
I remember that.
it. Yep, had the casing underneath
Never had
it.
to give that to Kevin.
On the back of it, it's
So
handwritten who shot it at what range.
It
and
was-
Somebody sold that at a yard sale.
The bullet right below. Yeah. Did you ever get the bear rug?
I never got to do
We didn't know
got it.
whatever happened to
It's
that.
in our basement.
We've got it.
Oh, do you?
There you go.
In the basement?
We've got it.
I
it. Is
didn't
that one?
know.
Is that Grandpa's bear?
Yeah, 'cause he gave it to them, they got fleas.
Yep. In our basement,
That's
it's
right,
Chestnut
and
Ridge.
your mom wanted it out of the
And they gave it
house.
back, so we took it.
We
Oh, I
took
didn't
it.
remember that.
Yeah, it was in our basement because it was I had it for a while. It
How
was in
could
my
it get
bedroom.
What did you have, deer head?
I had a deer head and I had the bear rug for a little while down in the basement, but that house I mean, we caught fleas, probably we don't know where from, and then that
What
house.
deer had you sold?
No, I never saw
No,
bear.
Kevin got
bear.
the one that had the rollers
Bear,
on the
but
bottom.
I was just always
That was
curious
in the
what I
basement.
done with all that. What'd I have, 3 altogether?
That was in the basement, wasn't
You
it?
sold
Yeah,
one of
right when
them.
you went downstairs, it
That's
was hung
the
right there. I
best
hung
one.
it right there. I loved it. I thought it was awesome.
You think I sold one?
I know you did, a couple years ago.
Yeah?
He
About
sold
a year
it.
or two after you sold the bear head at a yard sale.
I think I
Didn't
bought-
you like that?
Oh, I didn't like it.
I think the
Why
one
did he
in
give it to you?
I don't know. I guess he needed money.
Madeline
Could have sold it to you for all that.
I'm telling
Madeline
you,
said I want to go to Joanne Fabrics for some fabric, and I said, well, I don't have any money.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to sell the bear head.
Sure, I'll get awful hard up for being selling more deer head.
Who did you sell it to? Did you sell it to anybody you know?
No.
Oh.
That, I told you we had that old rocker out there in the yard sale. And the guy said, boy, I'll sit in this chair, it's so comfortable, and now I really enjoy that bear head. I know right where I'm going to put it on the wall.
And tell someone how he shot it.
You tell someone how to shot it, probably.
About the one that was 3 times as big that got away.
Yep.
But I think
We
that,
better go home. 6
I'll
o'clock.
look at that one on the garage, but I think that's the
Oh,
first
we'll
one
never
I
let me
killed.
down.
Maybe in 47. I know where I hit again. Killing shot right in the jaw. Knocked him down
47.
just like he shot him through the heart. And then I must have shot him again after that.
No, Patty was born 47.
Yeah. It would be right around
There,
there.
I think it was 47. When?
Do you know what year your sister was born?
47.
We got married in 40.
Sick.
What made you choose Dad over Huddy?
I don't know, just like
She
wouldn't
wanted,
stay away.
she wanted to learn to drive my dad's car. Laid it in the ditch one night and I had to lie to him the next day and tell him I didn't.
You know better.
Skinned the
He
side
could
of
never teach me to drive. Ralph couldn't.
Really?
He
His
said,
dad taught me to drive. He couldn't do it. He just yelled.
he said he knowed I
Doing everything
didn't
wrong.
run that car in the ditch.
He said, I know you didn't do that.
It was a gravel road and she going around the curve and she got her loose gravel. She let her run. Got right over.
So Grandpa Cook taught you how to drive.
Yeah, Ralph didn't. He couldn't do it. He didn't have enough patience.
He wasn't patient or
It's
you
hard
were
to-
too
It
nervous.
was hard to teach her to drive. She couldn't keep her mind on the road. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect anything different.
Oh, Ralph.
Good old days.
Yep.
Where I went to school.
They was good old days, but then when you look back, they were hard days. You know.
Yeah? They were.
You had to work for what you got, you know.
Yeah.
We had a 2-room schoolhouse. 4 grades on the first floor and 4 on the second. Usually a woman downstairs and a man upstairs.
What was this now?
But you couldn't have wanted a schoolhouse in a better place than that. It set 300 or 400 yards up on a, I call it a point or place that you could look right down the Ohio River for 3 or 4 miles, you know.
Yeah.
And railroad tracks come right along the river, you know.
Big boats going up the
The
river.
boats, you could hear the boats chug, chug, chug. It was sitting there in the summertime with the ring. See, watching boats come around the curve and up the trains, the big old mileage trains. Fire with coal back then, you know, smoke, all that. And back when the war was going on, they built them army boats up there in Pittsburgh, right there where the Allegheny and the Monongahela come together and make it.
Wonder you got any schoolwork done.
It is.
Just sitting there watching the Bye,
The
folks,
day they
goodbye.
come to do the smallpox,
Mm-hmm.
No,
he took off and ran home. He was scared to death. His mom would make him. He never did get it.
my religion gets sick.
He wouldn't do it.
So what grade did you finish in school?
I started high school in Pine Grove. I went to stay with my aunt.
Okay.
But I didn't like this stuff, so I didn't go it.
Graduated in 8th grade.
Huh?
8th grade was your last year.
Last year
But I
you
did
finished.
start,
Got your 8th grade diploma.
So you finished 8th grade and that was it for you? You
yeah,
were
but
done?
I started, I went to stay with my aunt, my mom's
Okay.
sister.
I had, sorry, Tom.
I didn't like this, so I didn't go.
Can't work my feet.
Okay.
I never missed it, really.
I suppose mine would have been 11, but junior year, I went half of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then you stopped going. And then you got married, so that was
He got his
GED.
Okay.
He got that.
Okay. How long did you wait to get that?
Not too long, you and Garnet Baxter
Right
were
now,
probably
maybe
together.
3 or 4 years, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if
Okay. You didn't wait too long then. Okay.
No,
Okay.
she had to quit school, she had to goiter, and had surgery for it.
Mm-hmm.
Not me.
No, your friend, Garnet.
Yeah.
Garnet Baxter.
Okay. Okay.
You know, I was in the, for our school, top of West Virginia history, you know. I could, 55 counties in West Virginia, you know, I could recite all them, and I really studied on that. And the Golden Horseshoe they gave me. All right, back then the war was going on,
Okay.
and we couldn't go to Charleston, the state capital, to get our Golden Horseshoe. When did we come back?
Maybe 5 years ago.
Longer now.
Yeah.
Every 10 years, 10, 15
Might be
years.
10.
Huh?
Yeah, because we were in the old house, because you got those pretty glass plates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And you gave us one.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
But they, that all up, anyone didn't get them, none of them come down that arena, that
Mhm.
celebration deal.
Okay.
It's probably about 10.
Knighted you. You were a knight of the Golden Horseshoe. The governor knighted.
Got an A in Milton, and a B plus, B plus in Churning.
Ah. But you know what we did? You got a 15-minute recess in the middle of the morning, you know,
Okay.
that you go outside and do whatever. Then at noon you had, I think, an hour for lunch time. We run them hills.
You get down and
Oh,
swing on them grapevines across the...
Yeah, I was in, when I swung on the grapevines in the woods.
You
Wanted
put a
to-
grape
wanted
with
to
you,
be
you
ornery,
killed
you
you.
tie some other kid up to a tree and leave him there. Go back to school.
You didn't do that.
They did.
They did that.
That was better than smoking dope and shooting people. No, that kind of.
You know, I gotta agree with that. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, that's what it's hard for us to understand.
You know, Ralph and I never did smoke.
Just corn silk.
I smoked corn silk. My daddy killed us if he didn't move it.
Burdock.
You would have.
That's what
Where-
you call
Corn silk.
meth back then. They call it corn silk.
Corn silk. Meth.
What was it?
Right, because they had to
He's
have
just being silly.
Dope, dope, you
Yeah,
said?
that's what they called it back then.
Corn silk. Corn silk.
It wasn't really corn silk. That's what they called it.
I
It
remember,
was corn silk, off the corn silk.
did you ever see Doc? Please, you're not familiar with what it was. The seed of it just looked like tobacco. We used to try to smoke that.
What was that?
Duckweed.
I never
Seed.
seen that.
But I don't suppose I ever smoked one been a pack of cigarettes. Get a bottle of wine or something, we had to come over in the high to get it. Ride the ferry. And who kicked the bottle out on the ferry and broke it?
I
Wayne?
did.
You,
One
you were one of the girls was with us.
was
We come
still.
over to high and got a bottle of wine,
Uh-huh.
and then we come back across the river in the ferry.
Uh-huh.
Someone kicked it out.
Kicked it overboard.
Now
So-
why did,
So you were in a dry county? It was a dry county? You
They
couldn't-
weren't
West
old enough.
Virginia, that was the whole state.
The whole
Yeah.
state was?
The age might have had something to do with it, you know.
Oh, okay.
If you had to go to the liquor store, and I bet in the high you didn't have to.
I'm surprised you guys didn't make your own.
Grandpa Tom always made his.
Cider.
Hard cider?
Mm-hmm.
What? Oh, Ohio could sell 7% beer, couldn't they? West Virginia could only sell 3.
3-2.
3, 2, yeah. I could never see how anyone could drink whiskey.
Oh.
Her dad used to take that bottle of whiskey. Boy, was that good! I'll turn his mouth wrong side out. And he'd make a barrel of cider and everything. Just when it got done, he'd go take a bottle of 100 proof whiskey, dump it in the top of it.
Mix it all in.
Make it strong.
What was was it made out of apples?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hard cider.
Take paint off with that stuff.
Good. You know, when I was pregnant for one of the kids, my dad always buried potatoes in the fall. Just dig a big hole out and it was right down from the house.
uh-huh.
Big round one. And they'd put the potatoes, put straw in there, and then they'd put the potatoes in there, and they'd cover them all up.
Okay.
And they would never freeze, but he'd never open the hole up till it was warm weather, you know.
Right.
But I was pregnant for one of the kids one time, and I wanted the potatoes out of the potato hole so bad. And you know, he opened it up and took potatoes out, and we had potatoes. He covered it back up again.
Reburied it.
Yeah, reburied it.
Just so you could give his unborn grandbaby
Then comes
potatoes.
time to hang out. Go want something.
You know, we raised enough stuff there though. At home in the garden and everything, and what we got out of the woods, that my cousin come and lived with us, I don't know, a year or something. Because that's when the Depression was. And they all worked in the steel mill with them. But you talk about living off the land, we lived off the land. More than what her people did.
I don't know about that. We raised everything we had.
You didn't look like
Look
we
how
did.
we can. No, they didn't like that. My dad never liked deer meat. They would never eat that.
Well,
They would eat rabbit.
we didn't have
They
deer.
eat squirrel. That's all.
We didn't have deer back then anyway.
But here they wouldn't eat. They never did eat to wild meat. though.
We eat rabbits, squirrel,
Jack and Garnet never ate deer.
no, rabbits,
But he
squirrel,
hunted.
coon, possum. Didn't eat possum, or just
Groundhog?
groundhog. Oh, that was one of our main summertime.
His mom, she loved to fix that
We,
stuff.
we would drive up into Pennsylvania, hunt groundhogs, bring them back home. My cousin, he canned them for his winter meat.
Mhm.
So Madeline, if you guys didn't eat the wild meat, did you raised beef or?
Oh, we always butchered.
Now, we never,
And you know what us kids played with for a
What?
bone? A bone?
what?
Some kind of a animal part.
The bladder out of the hole.
I was gonna say bladder. Uh-huh.
And dried it up and blowed it up and tied it, and that was
A toy.
It was tough.
Well, isn't that how they made footballs?
You
I
know,
don't know.
you know, I can't remember us eating beef.
My
Pork.
dad always butchered a beef.
Well, we just had 2 milk
Your
cows.
mom. Your mom did.
Pork was what we butchered all together.
Ralph's mom was a good cook. They both were. I could see my mom on Sunday. She never knew who was going to be there for Sunday dinner.
Okay.
People just walk in, you know. They know. But she always had enough.
Wow.
She always had enough food for them.
I remember going over to Grandma's, this was before Grandpa had his heart problems. Grandma made me a country breakfast.
Oh, I know.
I lived for those things. Those are the
You
best.
mean I did? I did. David, too.
Me and Dave.
Jack would say, "You cooking all that for them kids just for breakfast?" I said, "They want a country breakfast, and that's what they got.
Mm-hmm.
What did that include?
Bacon and eggs and toast and potatoes. If we had some, we could fry, you know, real quick. But they always got a lot of food to eat. Kevin would just live with us.
Especially in the summer,
Yeah.
about weeks.
He loved to play with a
Pressure cooker.
Pressure cooker when I was real little. Then as I got older, I would follow Grandpa to work. Or when he was retired at the time, and I would follow him to still fix people's stuff.
yeah.
Gas air conditioners and stuff. And, you know, they have the diffuse, the fins that they put on the tin to diffuse the heat. I used to push it down. Oh, he hated when I did that.
They had that picture. He had HT on it. I love
What are these
HT.
camera things on? What are these?
They take pictures. That's before your time.
Now you can talk, I suppose. What are you doing? You got it on.
Been on.
You're on. You're on, Ralph. Talk out.
It's about time your brother picked your teeth out with his worksheet.
You know it all, don't you?
Yeah, he pretty much does.
Yeah,
He
gold
does,
teeth.
doesn't he?
She had gold teeth when I married her.
If he heard it once, he remembered it.
That's about the time your cousin Ralph Cook came out for a visit.
What happened?
I don't know, he ended up marrying him. What was it?
Oh, I can't believe you don't know that.
I can't remember his name.
Yes, you do.
What was it? Hoyt or
Huh? Hoyt.
what was his first name?
Oh, I should go home.
What was his first name? Started with an H, didn't it? Yeah,
That's it.
what was his name, Dad? Well, I always knew it. Sure did.
I'm sorry.
What'd you say the difference was?
HV, wasn't it?
No. No.
What was it? Oh, HT. That's right. HT. Wasn't HV.
Okay, the
Little
cameras
heart
are
rate.
off.
Bull.
Now I got it.
My gosh, what time is it?
5 o'clock.
Huh?
5 o'clock.
You've been here too long. Hey, I always say after I come and stay an hour or two, time to go home. He'll say, you're right.
I go, bye.
Ernie Bud.
Are we done now? We're done.
What year are we up to?
Him and I
The
had together.
cameras are on.
What?
The cameras are on. Justin is a little fast.
Good morning. Yeah. You know.
Why they don't turn them off?
Please turn your head
I
around.
don't think they're on anymore.
Guess they had the lights on.
That's not a light, that's
The
a,
lights in.
They're like-
There's a light on that. Look at there.
is that a lighter,
Right there.
looks to me like a, just a mark stamp sticker.
But this camera's still on.
One of them is.
Which one?
I'm not sure. That one, I think.
I think that one is too. The light's on.
Like,
Kinda like,
it's been turning itself off every few minutes. I can come down and turn it back on.
It's on.
I don't know if it's recording or not. It's
The
on.
light-
I mean, it's turned on.
Tom, I think your deer's a pretty deer, though.
awful little.
It's awful little though. We're just gonna have to come down and see your
Oh, you'll
deer.
have to see
We're
it.
gonna have to see it because if
See
that's
both of
little.
I think
See the
he's
one from last season and the one from 2
I
years
think
before
I
that?
see where he held it up right there on the wall.
Old Huddy Taylor was here, he could probably tell a few stories too.
I figured he could,
He
yeah.
remembered his name.
I got it out of her.
Ah,
Huddy Taylor.
He didn't get out of me. He
he
remembered.
remembered the old boyfriend.
Huddy.
You dog.
I can tell you all about them. What do you want to know? Huh? You want to know the truth of it?
The what? The pocket hose?
There. They're showing you that little hose in the middle.
Yeah.
All right. That little thing spreads out. It's about a 1/4-inch hose, plastic, and makes that thing like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I got one and it had a hole in it.
Oh no.
All right. I called up the place I got it. She said, we'll either send you another one or you keep that one and we'll send you your money.
Okay.
So I thought, well, I'll fix it. So I cut it. I cut
Of
it.
course you did.
I cut it in two where it leaked, and inserted a piece of pipe, 1/8-inch pipe, in the line. Put clamps on it, and even clamped the outside down to it. I turned the water on that thing.
I was gonna say I don't see this going well.
There was a bubble coming out. Ow! But then I got to thinking that plastic hose is made to expand inside that whole hose probably stretches like that.
Right.
But it was really hard to stretch over that 1/8 pipe.
Oh, you need a quick release?
That's funny, Ralph. You're trying to fix it.
So I've got a hose. I don't know what I could use it for. I've tried again.
Well done, huh?
Huh?
I think
Well
it's
done.
closed them now.
We're all done?
Well done.
Yeah.
But yours, Pull
Yeah.
'em
Extremely
through.
well done.
Let's go home, Ralphie.
got the GPS.
It's 6 o'clock. Don't know anything.
Don't cut you off.
Now you'll cut me off.
Just like we cut Dad off from getting deer. You can't get any more deer on our
No, they
land.
can't.
We're
We're
cutting
not
off.
in my house.
He already,
Great white hunter.
he cut me off, now he's gonna cut you off. He split that fingernail.
It's amazing what they can
Oh,
do, isn't it?
Unbelievable.
Numbered, split it,
And he should be home by
and
Friday.
took it all
That's
out.
what they
You know,
said.
never even
Oh,
got
yeah.
sore. But they only really got a bandage on it, and right now the cut part of the fingernail off that he had left.
This is
hanging out
Liz's.
Yeah.
there. He wants
is
to
it?
catch
Yeah.
on stuff.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
But
Yeah.
it's never got sore.
Must be
I
yours.
could
It's good.
Well, it's ours. I just don't know if it's hers
He
or
done
mine.
that so he didn't have to awaken the flower beds, I think.
Oh, this is my bag before I drop it.
Watch yourself, Madeline.
Huh?
Huh?
Don't do that, Tom.
Tell us what you're thinking right now.
You want to hear that thought?
She looked at the back of your hair and scared her.
He's getting cut this week.
Turn your head so we can see the back of your hair.
Oh, Tom, stop. That thing's not even on.
Let's see the back of your head, Mrs. Cook. Oh, look at that.
Not even on, is it, Dad?
No.
No,
Oh, I know what
why
that's
would
for.
it be on?
Now I'm so happy, no sorrow inside. Praise the Lord, I saw the light.